expressed, and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural. Magic. Ghosts. You are not followers. Bigfoot. Extraterrestrial. Psychic.
The Calling 2.0.
Hello, everybody. This is Jerry with the Calling 2.0, along with Valentina. How's it going, V?
Hey, great. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. How's Maine?
It's mainly great.
It's all the storms are gone now?
Yes, the storms are gone. Today was just a nice, cool, crisp day. It's like 61.
Wow.
Really loving it. I realize that's my temperature. This 98 and 104 in Florida is, I am over it. I'm over it. So this is just great. I'm wearing my Ugg boots and dusting off all my warm clothes. So yes.
Nice. Well, that's good. You know, I always thought you liked that 98 degree and, sweltering bunch of sweaty crap type.
No, I come from a cold country. I lived in Alaska for 10 years. I think really my skin is thick. I am ready for cold. I can handle cold weather more than most people.
There you go. Did you hear what's going on in California?
No, now what?
California, the tarantulas, it's
Correct.
mating season, and it's like they're going nuts. They're just everywhere.
Like arachnophobia.
Yeah. Oh, I have it. No, even when I'm like, at nighttime, I'm going through Facebook and somebody's got to put a stupid picture of spider and stuff. It's like flip past as fast as I can. I just hate spiders,
I'm okay with them.
That's when I go to bed with my 357 Magnum.
Like that's going to stop a spider.
Oh, yeah, it is. Plus any spiders that's behind it for the next, 2 or 3 apartments. Anyway, okay. So who do we have tonight?
We have Winifred Schrader, aka Winnie. But we're so excited to have her on today and just give her own space to just be Winnie and not Dave Schrader's wife.
There you go. Poor Winnie.
It on my own.
Yes, break away.
There you go. So Winnie, what's up? How did you get interested into the paranormal and stuff?
Well, I've been into the paranormal my whole life. I've had experiences more on the metaphysical level. I had a lot of, I wouldn't say premonitions, but like gut feelings of things bad happening, and then they would. It's funny, my story of when I really realized my intuition and my being an empath. One night I was sleeping in my bed. It was about 11 o'clock at night or quarter to. And I remember I woke up from a dead sleep and I was panicked. I felt like there was something wrong. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was probably like 11 years old. And I got up, I checked my grandmother, she was fine. I checked my sister, she was fine. My mom was fine. My dad was still sitting up watching Johnny Carson as always. And I remember I went over to my hamster cage and I reached in and I picked him up and he had just died. He was still warm. Now hamsters, when they passed away, they stiffen up real quick. I mean, a lot of times within the first 30 minutes. So he had just passed away and it was my first pet. And this is going to age me a little bit, but his name was MC Hamster.
I love it.
Because I used to hold him up and he would kick his legs out. It looked like he
Yeah,
was
little pants.
Yeah. But yeah, that was like my first real memory of having that kind of paranormal metaphysical experience. And then just growing up, being a teenager, what do teenagers do? They play with the Ouija boards and things like that. And I did have some experiences with that when I was by myself. I never trusted when I played with other people because I knew that they were pushing the planchette. But I was much of an explorer, and I would go into old abandoned places, buildings, things like that. And, you would hear like the bangings or footsteps and things like that. So that's kind of like kept my interest. I almost put myself in those places to keep my interest in it. But I didn't really get fully into the paranormal till about 2016. I really was like, I really want to start investigating and doing things like that. So my first paranormal event I went to was at Palmer House in Sauk Center, Minnesota. This was before Dave and I got together. We were just friends, and I had my first like really impactful, empathic experience that really threw me for a loop, and I was not prepared for it. And this going into this being an empath and not knowing anything about how to protect myself, how to discern myself, and things like that. I remember going into one of the rooms, and I had an SLS camera, and I saw a figure pop up on the sink in Lucy's. Lucy's is one of the mostly haunted rooms in the hotel. She has been known to be like a lady of the night, that she stayed there. And, it's not historically, we're not sure exactly what her name was, but that's what everybody calls her. So we just call her Lucy. And I saw a figure pop up on the screen. So I asked, can you please raise your right hand? The figure raised the right hand. I said, okay, can you raise your left, Lucy? And I acknowledged her name, and then she did that. And then all of a sudden another figure came into the view, and I'm like, oh, and all of a sudden they started intertwining these stick figures. If you've ever used an SLS camera, you could, it's just like a stick figure animation. All of a sudden you could tell, like, I had this innate fear just hit me out of nowhere, and it looked like the figure was actually choking the other one. And my feeling, it was obviously a male presence. And Raymond is the male ghost, and he does not like it. And he's kind of known to be the pimp of the house, and he was known to beat the women. So could that have been Raymond? I don't know. But I remember I walked down the hallway, and my sister was in our room because she fell on her knee and she hurt her knee. And I remember I was just outside my bedroom or the hotel room door, and all of a sudden it felt like somebody threw like a thick, heavy, wet comforter on me. And I fell back into the wall. I mean, I was just like, all of a sudden it was like I had all these rush of emotions, and they weren't mine. So I think what was happening is that Lucy was imprinting her emotions onto me. And I had no idea to prepare myself for that. And it really threw me for a psychological loop. I couldn't even do an investigation for the rest of the night. My sister tried to get me, and I'm like, no, I'm too emotionally fragile right now. I cannot be influenced by anything else. But then I had my psychomantium. It's so weird, the dichotomy of I had this really crazy, creepy experience. And then my other experience I had, have you ever heard of mirror scrying or the psychomantium experiment type of thing? I was doing that where you have just one source of light, like a candle below you, and the whole rest of the room is pitch black, and you just stare at yourself into a mirror.
Oh,
And
yeah.
of course, eyes adjust, and there's, so you start looking old and things like that. But I sensed a presence next to me, and it was getting closer and closer and closer. And I'm just like, to the point where I felt like if I turned my face, I would see a face like right here. But I'm looking in the mirror. I don't see anything, but I can feel it. I can feel the static electricity of it. I can feel just the mischievous energy. It didn't feel evil. It felt mischievous. And then all of a sudden, I felt like heard this breathy whisper, like somebody inhaled, and then all of a sudden it said, "Go." And I was like, my eyes went really big. I'm like, wait a minute, was that a man telling me to "you go, girl"? I was like, what is this? So this is very bizarre. I'm like, I was expecting a "get out" or something like that, not "you go, girl." I was just like, what was that? It was just a very weird weekend, but that really kind of lit the fire for me to continue investigating and doing things in the paranormal field and enhancing my own gifts, because I have them. I just got to figure out how to use them properly, how to enhance those gifts properly, and use them for good. And that's why I started doing tarot, because I've always dabbled in it. I've never done it professionally, but with my life right now, and Dave's constantly gone doing events and things like that, I got to find ways to make money at home, because I'm actually starting college on Monday.
Wow.
So I need something a little bit flexible. So that's why I decided, I really think I can help people with the tarot readings. So that's why I chose to branch out and start doing tarot readings for people.
Awesome.
Wow. And did you when you started doing the tarot readings and everything, was it did it do something for you? Did it, was there? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you guys. Can you guys hear that sound?
Yeah.
I think there's some type of like ringing or something.
Yeah, it's my washing machine.
Oh, of course.
It never did that before. Now it's doing that. I'm sorry. It'll
Oh,
be
don't
over
worry.
within a couple minutes. But anyway, some people say when they're doing tarot card readings that they can feel something coming from within them to help
Mhm.
do the readings and stuff. Is that
Yeah.
something that you?
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, it's something it's almost like my inner Jiminy Cricket. I guess you could call him that. That's what I call him, my
Right.
Jiminy Cricket. It almost like it kind of filters out the noise for you, so that way you can really focus your energy and your mind on the person that you're doing the reading for. So it's like your intuition and your inner, I don't know what you want to call it, but your inner intuition, it like connects with theirs. So it's not like a telepathic experience, but it's almost like, I'm picking up what you're putting down, girl. I'm picking it up. It's like you could just sense it without even speaking. And I love to help people. I mean, you know, for me to give people advice, I'm not going to give somebody advice that I wouldn't want myself, or want somebody to be honest with me. I'm not going to give somebody advice to go play lottery tickets or anything like that. It's
Right.
basically with tarot reading. A lot of people think it's about, like crystal ball type thing. You're telling the future, and that's not the case at all. What it is tarot reading is basically having your spirit guides kind of tell you what you need to know that you already know. It's almost like reaffirming what you already know and taking that right path. Because a lot of times in life, people reach out for tarot because they have a conflict, or they have something going on in their life. They may be undecided. So it almost kind of just points them in a direction that their spirit guides or their inner chi or their intuition is telling your inner chi and intuition and spirit guides. So when I give advice to somebody, I'm like, this is what you're good at, but this is what it's going to take to get there. And, I said it could change. It's not set in stone, but I'm giving you sound advice based off of the cards, because I have them. If I do readings in person, I have them touch the cards and pick the cards, but obviously I can't do that when I'm doing a virtual reading. But it's really weird, because I tell people this. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not shaky, I'm not nervous, but what I'll do is I'll fan out my card and I just run my hand across the table like this, and all of a sudden you'll see my fingers just start going like this, and I'm like, and I can feel the energy connecting from my finger to the card. And that I'm like, okay, that's the card that your inner spirits are telling me to pick for you. So that's why I do that. I'm very transparent when I do my readings. I try and have a video camera going. Sometimes depends on technology works. And then I also give them a full summary of the reading. I will tell them, okay, this is what we did for this reading. That way, you can make a tarot journal with it. That way, in your next reading, you can see how you progress and what you need to do to move forward to the next step. So I kind of look at it as kind of sound advice with a little extra help from the other side.
Right. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty good.
Yeah, I take tarot reading. I might be a little different than the traditional tarot reader because I'm very matter of fact. Just I give the readings like I would just talking to a friend or like I'm talking with you guys.
Right. Wow. Now, you know who Ken Boggle is, right?
I've heard of Ken. I don't think I've met Ken, but I've heard of that name before.
Gotcha. He was telling me one time that I asked him, I said, how did you pick the cards that you use? And he said, it's weird. He said, some people will say it's whatever the bestseller is, or some people will say they like the design on it. But
Oh,
there's some cards that kind of just reach out to you and you just get those.
You're
And
talking
those are
about
the
the
ones.
deck.
What's that?
You're talking about the deck, like the design on the deck.
Correct. Yeah. Is that, did your deck draw you to it, or?
yes, I actually have 2 decks that I like to use. Well, one more than the rest. I have this one. It's actually a fairly new deck. I found it on I came across it, I think, looking up different tarot decks on some site. I can't remember. But I saw it. I was like, whoa! I like really connected with this deck. I mean, it also has like the zodiac signs on it. It kind of gives you like a little, like kind of like a little affirmation saying on it, things like that. I don't know. It was really drawn to me because it's very done, well done with the art. It's almost like it's realistic yet still looks graphic art. And it's just, I don't know, it's just beautiful. They use like real people in it, and it's not. Some of the tarot decks to me are very cartoony, and I don't know. There's just something very sleek and beautiful about this deck, and I just love it.
Wow, okay. Well,
Yeah.
we also have a question. I'm sorry, V. Someone had put a question through my Facebook message. They actually live up in St. Cloud. They're part of National Guard. And they wondered, first off, V, are you going to be up there? And I said, no, you're not. They're listening right now.
I'm sorry,
mobile.
guys. Like I have had this up on my wall for 2 years to go. When is the date? It's obviously when I'm gone, right?
September 30th, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's in just a week. You're going to be up in Maine.
I'm still in Maine till mid-October. Otherwise, I would have. I was planning on hitting one of these East Coast para conventions. I just, by the time, I mean, they're always in this cluster of like August, September, October.
Well, that's what they've
And
got.
they're all close together, and you're trying to get to Chicago and then Minnesota and Michigan, and I really do want to go to one, but I have to see when I get back what's left for the rest of this year. Otherwise, I will have to plan better for next year. But the answer in short is no, and I'm sorry, and I want to see Winnie too. So,
all right. And
yeah.
that's the second question is, Winnie, you're going to be there and everything. So you are going to be doing readings.
Mhm.
You'll be set up at a table and everything. And I told him, yes, that you're going to be there. So
Yes,
awesome.
I will be there doing readings. I don't know exactly how long the readings will end up being for each person, but I think I'm going to allow at least 20 minutes per reading. If we can go longer, fine. But I at least want to allocate 20 minutes per reading for people.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, it just kind of
Yeah.
depends on how busy we get, because I don't want to sit there and do 45-minute readings and only get to 4 people because the event's so, you know what I mean? Like, they're
Right.
friends. So, but I can always continue those readings, from home if they want to have another reading and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty open.
Right.
Sign-in sheet, and then that way you could gauge how many people really. I mean, Yeah, I mean, maybe even just 15 minutes, and then tell them if you'd like a longer one, you can book one, via remote. Because I hate for you to get burned out and tired out, because it's already a lot of energy with convention people constantly flooding through,
Oh,
and you got to sit there and
yeah.
tune in to people, and by 2 hours later you're exhausted. So
Yeah, it's I love conventions though, 'cause you just meet so many cool people,
yeah,
and I mean, just and then you meet these people, and then you become friends for life. I mean, Valentina,
It is
like I
true.
met her through Dave, and I've been friends with. I mean, we've never
yeah,
met, but we communicate on Facebook. We've played Yahtzee together.
yeah.
Um,
But we became friends, yes. And then you
yeah,
stopped playing Yahtzee with me. I don't know.
I burn myself out on. I'll like download. I'll play it for like 2 weeks. I'm like, I don't have time for this.
She's over me already.
Yeah, maybe I'll join again. Yahtzee with buddies again.
I'll hunt you down at the next convention.
All right.
We'll
That's
give each other
funny.
readings.
That's funny. No, I love doing the conventions too. I think it's such a blast, especially where, when you're watching TV, you think so and so's untouchable, that they're not going to talk with you and stuff. And I was amazed. I mean, Dave right away, him and we hit it, which was nice. And though Grant Wilson will probably never want to talk to me again,
Oh, dear.
and I
Oh,
will
yeah.
not. I'll tell you off air exactly what I said to him.
Oh, not on camera.
Yeah, off camera,
I don't
because
want
it
to ruin my
was
chances now.
it was just hilarious. I mean, we go up there and we love to have fun. I like to do like 15-minute mobile interviews where you just go up with a voice recorder and say, hey, I'm with the calling, and can I ask you a few questions and stuff. And that's where Grant said, sure, you can ask me anything. Oh man, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done
Oh no.
it. Yeah, again, I'll tell you off air. I know everybody right now is going, what? What
Yeah.
did you say to him? Well,
Yeah.
it was bad taste.
Oh,
It
Grant,
was
though.
funny, but it
You-
was bad taste. But anyway, yeah, and I was really impressed. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to talk about Dave, but the last thing we did up in Duluth, Dave and your guys' daughter, what is her name?
Ripley.
What is it?
Ripley.
Yes, she was selling. She's such a sweet kid.
Yes.
Oh my God, she was so nice and everything, and Dave was too. And it was just awesome.
Mhm.
I didn't know what to expect, and it was really cool. We had a really good time. But anyway, so yeah, this one up here is going to be just a blast. We're all so ready for it. My team is pumped up for it and stuff. And I know that there's my team, and then there's Cryptid Chicks will be up
Okay.
there. And guess who just came to the talk about Dave? Dave just showed up, and
Oh, did he?
yeah, it
Yeah.
says Winnie's husband.
Oh, okay.
God.
He's not Dave. He's Winnie's husband.
It's Winnie's husband. Yep, that's it. There you go. Well, hey, Winnie's husband. Nice of you to
Okay.
show up. Nice of you to stop by. But anyway, what was I going to say now?
Oh, you were
Now
talking about the convention.
Yeah, about the conventions. It's such a good idea. Whoever first started wanting to do those so people can get to know. Oh yeah, my convention. That's what we were talking about. It's my team, Supernatural Investigators of Minnesota. Stephanie is going to be there with her team, Cryptid Chicks, all female Bigfoot research team, and then Search for Spirits. If you guys ever talk to them, they're a trip. They're really a trip. They're great guys. They're oh my gosh, it's not just paranormal, but it's cryptid. It's oh my God,
Aliens, everything.
aliens, everything. Yeah, and Russ is never short on talking. So if you say hello to him, Get ready for the next 20 minutes of saying hello. Great
Well,
guy.
I am in Minnesota, so we're famous for the Minnesota goodbye. So I'm used to it. We say goodbye for 20 minutes.
That's
So
true. Yeah. If they didn't like you, it'd be like in California,
Mhm.
Yeah, we can't
Bye.
say that kind of language on.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. I'm the one that leaves and the whole group stands and talks.
Yeah.
Places to go, places to be. I want to ask you, Winnie, what
Yeah.
scares you? Is there anything that, like, anything on this planet?
No, I mean, I get creeped out, but there's like nothing. The one fear that I have, other than spiders, but the one like fear, I'm not afraid of death. My fear, especially once I became a parent, was to leave this earth too early when my kids still need. That was like, I was for a while, like when my kids were like babies, I was just like so paranoid to even leave the house. Like I'm afraid I'm gonna get in a car accident or something because I'm afraid if something happens to me, my boys are gonna be without a mother. It was so weird, and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm thinking this way, but that was like a really strong fear for me for a long time.
Right.
Real people actually scare me more than the dead, honestly. But nothing really like I don't really get scared, even when I'm doing investigating. It's
Yeah.
probably 'cause I can sense the spirits. Like I can sense
Right.
spirits in a room. And one gift that I really want to try and harness and perfect is I think I'm clairaudient. Spirits will come and all of a sudden I'll get like a burst of sound, like a word or something out of nowhere. But it's not like full sentences.
Right.
Boom, it's there and it always sounds like it's right in my ear. So but yeah, nothing really scares me per se. And when I do I go to a ghost investigation, I'm expecting to see ghosts. So I'm not like terrified
Right.
or anything. Jump scares can scare me though. Like if I'm in I don't like haunted houses. Like
Where people jump out, those interactive ones.
I don't like that. No,
Oh,
not doing that to me because I
I
got
hate
kicked
those.
once they punched the guy. And
That's what I did too. I punched a guy.
and they kicked me out. I'm like, well, he touched my shoulder and I wasn't expecting
Violent.
to have somebody
Super
there.
violent.
I just like it was just a knee jerk reaction. I was just like popped him right in the face. I'm just like, oh God, I'm sorry. It's just but I wouldn't say nothing particular scares me. One thing that does kind of freak me out is this whole alien thing going on with these UFOs. Not that I'm scared, it's just I feel like something's coming and we're not prepared. And that kind of has me unnerved. Like, are we getting to the point where we're going to have alien encounter, like publicly have alien encounters, and how well is it going to go? Now, it could be just I've watched too many movies, and when they always have like the movie Attack from Mars. Was it called Attack from Mars or whatever? Where they're like trying to be all polite to the aliens and they just obliterate everybody. I'm like, no, we can't have that. But I would say the unknown is probably something that unsettles me. And I'm the type of person that I'm going to go seek the answer to it. And then I'm okay. So,
Yeah, so no spiders, no snakes, no horror movies, nothing makes
no,
you
horror movie. Honestly, horror movies today are so predictable.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, in about 2 minutes, this guy's going to jump out with a machete,
Yeah.
going to scream. But no, I do have a phobia of spiders. Not that mainly just bugs. I don't like bugs. I don't like creepy crawly things with multiple legs. It just doesn't look natural. But I don't like freak out. I'm just like if I find a spider in my room, I either ignore it or I try and find a way to get it out of my room. So
Yeah.
whether it's I'm using a broomstick to try to grab because I'm not touching it. But
Right.
I'm not afraid of snakes or anything like that.
ew.
Oh, So I had another question. I wrote my little questions down here. I feel you're named after somebody, the Winifred part. So are you?
Yes, I'm actually the third Winifred.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, the third Winifred. We can, discuss that more when we come back from break. But yeah, it's a long story. So I'll wait for that when we come back. All right.
All right, everybody, hold tight. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes. And we're back. This is Jerry with the calling, along with Valentina and the one and only Winifred Schrader, or Winnie Schrader, or Queen Winnie Schrader. Anyway, so hey, if you guys are wondering, hey, I didn't get to catch the first half of the show. Well, just wait, because tomorrow we'll be posting this. It'll be on www.thecallingradioshow.com. And also, we are also taping this right now. So this show will also be on our YouTube, which is the Calling Radio Show, or the Calling Radio 2.0. So check out YouTube right there. You'll see us all in vibrant color and smiley faces, and we'll have some fun. So also too, okay, you're looking for some good entertainment. ParaX has got a lot of it. Just go to www.paraxradionetwork.com, and like right after us right now, there is Geeks Paranormal. Shauna has a show called Exploring the Paranormal. And Tuesday night, of course, we have, there is The Gathering with Stephanie and Heidi. They have a great time sitting around the metaphysical table, eating dark chocolates, doing shots of tequila, and just having a good time. So check them out. They're on at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And again, only on paraxradionetwork.com. All right, now I half blew that, so that's just the way that just goes. So, okay, so let's see here now. So Dave is saying, let's talk about Dave. He's awesome. Dave's gas scares her.
Mm-hmm.
It's self-explanatory right there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
No need to elaborate.
Very
right
good.
there.
He said is also too funny. She can hear the dead speak, but not me. How long have you been able to do this?
Well, I'm really good at selective hearing. So I'm gonna listen to the spirits and Dave blabber. But no, I think I remember having something happen to me when I was little in my room. I remember hearing a song, and I was like going around the house trying to figure out where it was. It was like a music box song. I'm like, what is that? I don't know what it was. Nobody had a music box. It was just like this very faint music box. I'm like, but my real first holy crap moment was about, let's see, actually this Sunday is the anniversary of my mom's passing. When I got home, about 2 days after I got home after her passing, or when I got back after we did all the funeral arrangements, I was laying in my apartment and I was about to go to sleep, and all of a sudden she said my name, and it was like urgent, like she was trying to get my attention, and that was it. And it was in her voice. My mom was from the South, so it wasn't like it was just a female voice. It was her voice.
Very detectable.
Yeah, she said my name, she called me Cassie. So, and we'll go into the Winifred thing with Valentina. Yeah, so she yelled Cassie, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, what? And I was expecting to see her. That's how clear and concise it was. And I know I could sense her, but I'm like, she's not here.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I've actually had dream visitations since her passing. And it's like she was trying to tell me something, but she couldn't connect with me. I'd have dreams where I could see her like she's trying to get my attention. She's yelling. She's like doing it, but we have like soundproof glass between. So I'm like trying to discern, okay, what does that mean? Does it mean that I have the gift, but I have a block going on? Like I need to open up that third eye, I guess you could say. So that's when I started really delving into tarot and trying to see what my abilities and gifts are. Maybe that's why she was reaching out to me. She's like, "Hey, you got the gift. Let's use it, girl." I don't know. I'm not positive. I still have yet to get the answer from her. But it sounded like she really needed to get my attention. I've had a couple dreams, and I'm still kind of unsure what she wanted, but time will tell. She'll tell me when I'm ready to hear it, I guess. But yeah, so that's kind of like you know, oh yeah, well, and going into the whole name thing, that reminded me. Yeah,
Yeah.
Winifred.
Yes.
Winifred is a family name. In the South, nobody goes by their given name. Everybody's got nicknames. But we were named after my grandmother's father, my great grandfather, Winfred, which is the male
Ma-
version of Winifred. And my grandmother was Winifred, but she went by Jakey. So I called her Jakey. My mom was Winifred, but she went by Sissy. So when they called me Cassie. I didn't have a choice in the matter, but I also go by Winnie too. So Cassie's kind of a childhood nickname. Winnie's my name. But yeah, so I'm the last Winifred standing. My grandmother passed away, not this last March. Was it this last March? I don't know. For some reason, 2023 seems like it's taking. But yeah, my grandma just recently passed, and so now I'm the last Winifred left.
Yeah.
So name for myself. I don't think there's any other tarot readers named Winnie, so it might stand out a bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, keep that legacy alive. That's a really special name.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now
Yeah.
you two need to have another baby, a girl, and name it Winnie.
I know we tried, and I think I'm just too old.
How you not that old?
She just had a birthday.
For
What's that?
pregnancy reasons, yes, I am. My
Oh, gotcha.
it calls it geriatric pregnancy. I'm like, geriatric? What?
Oh
Yeah,
my
apparently women's equipment doesn't age well. So, you're kind of at a spot where you're just like, but Dave and we have 11 kids together.
Yeah.
We're a blended family. We have enough going on, and we have a beautiful grandson that lives with us. So, and he's
Nice.
going to be 3 in November. He's just a little spitfire, and I watch him too during the day. So, him and I that's why I was so excited to talk to adults, because all day long I watch Louie and play with a 2-year-old. So, but yeah, so it's, we are a big family, that is for sure. Everyone's just like, you have how many kids? But I contributed 3 kids, and Dave contributed 8. So he's got me on that one.
There you go. Now you're saved by not having to listen to Barney, right?
Oh gosh, no. Barney was after I, past my childhood.
Barney's a long time ago.
Oh my God, I know,
I
but
think it's AI now.
yeah, but no, everything's about Bluey. I watch a lot of Bluey, which is on Disney. That's like a huge thing. Huge show.
what's Bluey?
It's about this this family of dogs, and Bluey's a blue dog. It's kind of the Australian Blues, but it's out of Australia, and it's just a great show. And actually, Dave and I enjoy watching it together too with our grandson. Dave will be cracking up. The dad on that they're just so funny. They're just so matter of fact. And I love Australian people, and I love their accent. We were just talking about this before we started the interview with my kids downstairs. I'm like, you know why Australian shows do so well? It's their accent. Because no matter what they say, they can tell you you're the worst human being on earth, call you every name in the book. But with their accent, they sound joyful and gleeful. It's just a comforting. I don't know. There's just something about that Aussie accent that resonates with especially Americans. So I think that's why Bluey has blown up so much in the States here. But yeah, it's either Bluey or Spider-Man or Spidey and Friends. He likes the Spidey and Friends. But yeah, so
Okay.
those are my television viewing experience the last month. So that's what I've been watching.
Wow.
Oh, I'll be darned. So now let's go back paranormal. That was my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
I'm kind of curious. When did you start hearing voices? Did we
uh,
cover that? I don't think we
yeah,
did.
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been on and off, like nothing to where I'm like, holy crap, do I have a gift or something? Like it never really resonated with me until back in 2017. It was like October 2017 when I had that experience with my mom. And then now it seems like more and more since that's happened, I can hear bursts of, you know, disembodied voices. And it's not like a moan or anything. It almost feels like it's direct at me. So it's almost like a spirit's coming through because they need to tell me something. So it's not like I just hear like ooh in the background or anything like that.
Right.
It's directed towards me. Like I've heard my dad too. I've heard my dad say my name, and it was weird because I remember when I heard it because when my parents woke me up for school in the morning, two completely different ways of waking me up. My mom was horrible. She'd flip the light on, flip off my blanket, and yell, "Cassie, get out of bed. It's time to go to school." Okay. But my dad, he'd come in all quiet and he would shake me on my shoulder and be like, "Hey, Cassie, it's time to get up for school." And that's how he came to me. I was laying in bed, all of a sudden I heard that soft Cassie in my dad's voice, and I was like, what? So it's just, I don't know. I feel like that door, it's cracked open a bit. I just got to figure out how to open it up and channel that gift and ability that I have and just kind of make it more consistent. So I plan on doing some workshops. I've been really in tune with my empathic side of myself. When I go into haunted places, it's hard. It's different because when you go into a room with actual people, you can still sense their emotions or their vibes and things like that. But you can choose to walk away. You sense it, you see it right in me. Oh, that person, I don't want to go near that person right now. They're angry. I don't want to feel angry. But when you're doing a paranormal investigation, you don't see the spirit. So I don't know what's coming at me. So I usually just kind of tell the ghost, I'm just like, hey, if you need to communicate with me, if you need my attention, one at a time, please. Single file line. Don't all come at me at once. Don't throw your emotions on me and not, give me any type of context with it. And that has worked. I don't get to go out and do a lot of investigating, but I practice at home. I'll just like look at myself in the mirror and just practice it. So that way I'm really getting my inner intuition on board. So that way, because obviously my inner intuition is connecting with somebody else's, whether it's a ghost or a real person. So I'm trying to convince my own intuition that they need to put some ground rules and some boundaries down because it's not fun when you go to a place or if you're doing an investigation and all of a sudden you have all these rush of emotions and you can't tell what's yours and what's theirs. And I call it emotional spaghetti. It literally looks like a bowl of spaghetti noodles just all intertwined and you got to separate them. Because there's times where I'll come back from the grocery store and I'm like angry. Like I'm stressed and I'm angry and I have no reason to be. No reason to be at all. So I
Right.
go to the grocery store between 4 and 5 o'clock at night because that's the worst time to go. But like Dave has a very demanding job. He's on the road constantly, especially this time of year. Like I saw him 2 days this month. That's it. 2 or 3 days. Oh no, it was more than that because I went to Austin with him at the beginning of the month for GalaxyCon. But yeah, he's gone a lot. So it's just like, trying to get out and do things and stuff like that. It's hard when we have kids and everything. But Dave, when he's stressed out and when he's on the go constantly, I can sense that. And I try and stay clear of him because he's just one of those people that has to internalize his stress, and it's usually because he just has so much to do in so little time. So it's just, I back away, I stay clear of him, and I wait for him to come to me. I don't pressure him or anything like that because it's hard. It's hard to balance, especially when you're in the paranormal field. It's a very demanding job. When you're doing investigating, it's not a 9 to 5 job. You're up from 9 o'clock in the morning doing an event. Then later that night, you're up till 2 o'clock in the morning doing an investigation. So it's a rough life. And, it stresses him out a lot and he doesn't have a lot of downtime, especially this time of the year when it's Halloween and everything. Mm-hmm. But if you guys, anybody can go to the website and check out all of his events. I manage his website, so I try and keep it up to date as much as possible.
And what is the website again?
Well, it's paranormal60.com. And there, you can just click on the events tab and you can see all the events. And hopefully, once things kind of loosen up and I get kind of my, schedule down with school and everything, I'm hoping to get out to more events and stuff like that and get onto it. Because usually it was just me tagging along. I was kind of his assistant. But now I can have my own table and I can do tarot readings for people. And I really look forward to doing this more often. And I'm going to pace myself for sure because I don't want to bite off more than I can chew because, I can't sit there. I don't want to look like I'm riding Dave's coattails, but
right.
No, everybody's like, we're all just real good friends and it's just, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I've met great people like Valentina. And I hope to do it with you. Well, virtually we've met. We're only 2D right now to each other. That's how I would explain it. I'd go to these events. They're like, "Oh, Winnie, you're real." I'm like, "Yeah." I felt like I had to walk around with like a profile box around my face because everyone thought I was fake for a while. I'm like, "No, I'm a real person." But yeah, when you have family and kids, I got to stay here and take care of the household while Dave's out playing around.
And
So.
the fort.
Chasing ghosts and doing what he does. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to hitting the con circuit more often now. So
Good question. So who does the cooking?
well, we both are kind of lacking on that one. No, it's I usually do the cooking. It's just our schedules, it's so hard to cook with because now we have teenagers.
Yeah.
So nobody's ever home. They always I'm going out to my friends, or we have kids that work until 8 o'clock. So I try and get some cooking in, but I do mainly the cooking. If it consists of mac and cheese and hot dogs, Dave's all over it.
I was going to ask, what are some of the things you cook?
Well, I cook anything from spaghetti and meatballs to, burgers, chicken, ham. Nothing. It's very Midwestern. I use a crock pot a lot. That's kind of like
I love the crock pot.
Oh yeah, you can throw your. That's
Throw
great.
it
You
and
can just
forget about it.
throw everything in, set it for 4 hours. You're good. So I use the crock pot a lot. But yeah, it's really hard in our household because I have to be gluten free. And then we have Ripley, who is a type 1 diabetic. So trying to keep, and of course, with kids, you have the picky eaters.
Right.
It got to the point where I felt like I was a short order cook. I'm like, I'm not doing this. You either eat what I make or make yourself something else. I can't keep doing this because they're like, well, I don't want this. I'm like, okay, I'll make you that while I'm making this. And it's like, But,
how many times have you had to tell Dave that?
No. Actually, Dave is pretty good. He's pretty good. He'll eat anything I give him. He loves food. It's a way to a man's heart, as they always say, it's through their stomach.
That's true.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't get out of control like mine.
Yeah. No, Yeah, Dave actually, he's not pig. He just like nothing with onions on it. That's about it. So you guys are learning a lot about Dave.
Onions and
Um,
pickles ish.
Give him
he loves
onions.
it. So, but yeah, it's having a paranormal family too. It's kind of weird because everyone, if you hunt ghosts in your house, no, I don't. Well, I know we have them here because I've heard them. I've heard them screw around with stuff. I just tell them, I'm like, well, if you're gonna live here, you gotta pull your weight. Don't leave the lights on because you ain't paying electricity bill. You don't you scare my kids. I put ugly ground rules. But yeah, we do have some spirits in the house. I don't know if they followed Dave from an investigation or they just showed up because we're the Schrader family. I don't know. But yeah, it's a busy house. So we have 5 cats now, a dog, and then we have 5 kids and a grandkid living in the house. So yeah, COVID was real fun.
Oh my God.
10 people in the house all the time.
Well, all those people
That
to
is
pay
scary
for
to me. That is my fear. I just realized that is my fear, being trapped in a house for 2 years with my entire family again. No, it's not gonna
Just think of it as one big long family reunion.
happen. Ugh. I didn't even get a cool T-shirt.
I survived family COVID here.
Yeah, I survived the Schrader family reunion due to COVID.
Oh my gosh. Says the woman that has the world's shortest engagement of 4 months.
Yeah, Dave and I were. Yeah, we were.
Mess around.
I was just trying to. Yeah, we got engaged in July of 2017. We were married November of 2017.
You just whipped
Yeah.
right through that.
Well, when you get to a certain age, and we both have been divorced, we know what we want.
Right. No, exactly. I was just
Right.
telling
Right. Life is short. Let's just get married, get it done. Yeah.
Week move in the next week, week 2, week 3, you're married. No.
Actually, we were actually living apart, married before we even moved in together because it was a leasing issue. But yeah, our leases weren't up. But then once they were, then we combined into one home.
Yeah.
And c'est la vie ever since. It's been wonderful.
It has worked out. No, you guys are a great couple, and you guys work well together, and you know each other's pluses and minuses, and I think it's very complimentary. I mean, no marriage is perfect. You get on each other's nerves, and you work through it, I guess.
Yep. You just never go to bed angry. That's all I don't want to go to bed angry. I don't like that.
And
But,
give people their space too.
Yeah, and like with Dave's stuff, I work a lot behind the scenes for Dave. I manage his website. I make like all the banners and stuff.
Yeah.
We just opened our Paranormal 60 swag shop. I'm super excited about it. I'm actually adding things quite often, but I'm creating my own designs and putting them on shirts. So, and you can find that right at his website. But yeah, I got my Paranormal 60 stuff for him, but then I'm also creating my own unique, exclusive, unique images and graphics to put on t-shirts. And I'm having like witchy stuff and just funny ghost stuff and zombie stuff. And eventually I hope to grow. But yeah, I just opened it up. And so yeah, you can check it out if you go to paranormal60.com. You can actually book a reading with me. You can just click the Love and Lotus Tarot tab at the top. That'll bring you to my page. And if you want to check out our Paranormal 60 swag shop, which I plan on putting up I plan on doing some Love and Lotus collection as well. Just haven't gotten to it yet, but yeah, everything is on the shop or store tab on his website as well.
What is the 60 in the Paranormal 60? Is that significant?
Yes, it is. It's loosely significant. The original concept was coming out with the Paranormal 60. It's supposed to be a 60-minute interview, 60-minute, like 60 minutes.
Right.
But on Wednesday nights, that's the fun night when he does the paranormal news with Greg Lawson, the paranormal detective. You have the Colonel, Marty Baez, who actually Marty I give him a lot of credit. He works for FEMA now, and he's been in Hawaii. He's going to be there for 6 months. He's helping them restructure and, do a lot of planning and stuff to get Maui back up and running again. But he's on the show. And then we have Chachi, who Nikki Folsom is a paranormal author. I'm not sure if you guys heard. She wrote The Haunted Harlequin. That's Nikki's husband. And Dave has met all these guys through his foreign trip that he does, which he just got back from the England one. And he's been friends with them, like best friends with these guys ever since. And they decided to do a paranormal news show together. So all 4 of them, Wednesday night, you can find Dave at the Paranormal 60 on YouTube. You can watch live. You can chat along live. It's pretty cool. He's live Mondays with a regular interview with like an author or anybody with the, in the paranormal field. And then Wednesday nights are the fun and cut loose paranormal news from crazy stories from around the world pick. So
Cool. I will check it out one of these days when I have a moment. Yes.
Well, if you could you, is he usually busy on Wednesdays?
he is, well, Wednesday nights he usually does his show live at 9 p.m. our time or Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. So that's when he normally does his show live.
Okay. Because we'd like to have him on.
Yeah. Well, hey, I will tell him he has to. He won't have a choice. I'll lock it in right now. Dave, you're doing his show. He's gonna message me, I know it. But yeah, he's actually going to an event this weekend in Wisconsin, Glenbeulah. I think that's the name of it, Glenbeulah, Wisconsin. He's gonna be
Oh,
there.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the flyer on that. Oh, he already jumped off.
Oh, yeah. Well, he could be. He also is dealing with Jeff. I don't know how he's staying upright. He went to England. He did an event in England and then like a small little tour. He got back this morning and then he's staying at a hotel tonight. So he needs a
Right.
nice sleep and then he's got to drive 3 hours tomorrow to go to Glenbeulah. And then the
Gotcha.
following weekend, the weekend of our conference, he'll be in Hawaii.
Gotcha. Well, we're at the end. Wow, this was really quick. I want to thank you both. Thank you, Winnie. Thank you, V. Thank you, Para X. Thank you, Sarge.
Thank
Thank
you.
you to all of our listeners and to the troops. And we'll see you all next week. Have a great week. Wow. See, thanks everyone. That was good.
Yes.
That's
I-
it.
Yeah.
I'm just a loose talker. I'll just talk about anything. I don't like structure.